I'm about to show you something, and all I ask is you brace yourself.
A rare, whether you cast a spell, draw a card. That's kinda cool. But you don't need the creature on the field. An explosive shot for a hunter. Legendary! Yes, come on! Oh, it's for a row! Come on!
Oh yes! What you just got a little snippet of is me 10 years ago now, making my first video on what was then the Hearthstone beta. Oh, how has it been 10 years? And the reason I say that is to put across that there have been a lot of Hearthstone videos on this channel, over 300 of them, and little known fact, I used to be, again many years ago, a full-on Hearthstone streamer. I really do love the game, I am a sucker for CCGs, and it's a lot of fun to play, and I have been keeping up with nearly every expansion over those 10 years. Especially because of how much I just love the lore of Azeroth and everything within it and without it. So when I was asked to both check out and show you guys the latest expansion, Showdown in the Badlands, well, I couldn't say anything other than, of course! And indeed, a big thank you to Activision Blizzard for sponsoring this video. So, if you do indeed like what you see, you can play for free. Download it at the link in the description, and the expansion, well, it's already out right now. So, before we get into this then, you might be thinking, well, you know, Hearthstone, yeah, I played that a while ago, I've not played it in ages though, and that's a lot of cards, and, you know, you gotta collect them, and I'm just gonna start with, like, rubbish, right? No, because we have something new and exciting, and that is Catchup packs. And not only do these, well, catch you up, I have it on good authority that they're quite tasty too. How these work then is you will get 5 to 50 cards per pack. The less of the current standard collection you own, made up of the previous 5 expansions, the more cards you get. Because I have a healthy amount of the previous expansions, well, I've got 6 this time. But if you are just jumping in, you've not played in a couple years, you are going to get buried under a mountain of sweet, delicious cards to craft your deck from. And that is a ridiculous and unprecedented way to now accelerate yourself into Hearthstone, and it's really damn cool. You have a legendary guarantee from the first 50 cards you get from each expansion, which means, yeah, 5 different legendaries as you keep opening them, and they really do work a treat, and it's nice to see. What else is nice to see then is mass pack opening, because what would a CCG be without packs? So we're going to do this together. I've got 110 here ready and raring to go, including 20 of these lovely Catchup packs. So while I could of course do them individually and see what fate has in store, it really is nice how they all slap down in a pile like that. We can then try this out. If we hold it and 19 in one go. That is quite alright, okay. 4 legendaries already. Yeah, I mean, I won't complain at that. 110 cards added to my collection straight out the gate, and that's exactly what will happen with you too, and that's one hell of a way to get straight into the action. With that said then, let's actually dig in to Showdown in the Badlands. I haven't opened any packs for this expansion yet, so we're about to do this together and see what luck holds for me. I'm going to do 15 to begin with and see how fate falls. Okay, little bit of epic to start with, and immediately a legendary, which I'm very, very happy about. Bartender Bot Trolley I like that. Oh, it's always fun to see brand new cards when they do come out. Ria Straza. If your deck has no duplicates, summon a Purified Dragon Nest. See, that is one thing that is distinctly back with Showdown in the Badlands. This, if you have no duplicates, do a thing. These are called Highlander decks, where you only have one copy of each card in your deck, and the payoff are these cards that do something massively powerful as a reward for playing a traditionally weaker sense. Okay. Oh, and then you get a lovely little summary of everything you actually added. That's really, really nice, because while it is fun and suspenseful opening individual packs like this, to be able to just sort of get on with it, because it does, you know, kind of take a while once you've had enough, is a really, really nice thing. Let's do ourselves another 20 then, and hope for the best. Okay, a lot of rarage going on. That's okay. Amphibious Elixir, restore 5 health, discover a spell. Ooh, that might fit in nicely to Nature Shaman, which was my favorite deck of the last expansion. Got ourselves a load of epics, and indeed, another legendary. Oh, yes! This is one card that I did know about. The Shaman payoff for playing a Highlander, one copy of each card deck, where you just get to summon larger and larger frogs with a frog summoning weapon. This thing is brilliant, and I think we may have just found what we're going to be giving a go to in this little Hearthstone adventure. Dormant for 8 turns, excavate to awaken Suitor, and a 16/16 for 4. Oh, that's such a cool design. I love that card. Honestly, I've always liked Hearthstone card designs. The artwork's always so endearing and cool and badass and quirky fun, and how we just consistently keep getting neat new little mechanics to play with, I don't know. And talking of new mechanics, there is 2 in Showdown at the Badlands. We have Quick Draw, which is simply if you play it the turn that you got it into your hand, you get a bonus effect. And then we have Excavate. And with Excavate, every time you do it, i.e. you might have a card that just says, Battle Cry, when you play me, Excavate, you get a treasure. And then the next time you get a treasure, you get a better quality, rarer treasure. And then it repeats up to 3 times. A handful of classes can go up to 4 times, where they get a really powerful treasure, and then you can play off that and work them in to your strategy turn by turn, depending on what you get. So it's a nice little bit of flavor and that expected shenanigans that this game does so well, even if a lot of the time it ruins me as I get incomprehensibly unlucky and fail to reach legend. So, with my cards in hand then, let's make ourselves a brand new deck for Showdown in the Badlands. And yes, as you can see, I really do tend to favor Shaman, and a little fun fact, I have kept my first ever deck, which was a warrior deck, alongside the deck that I first reached Legend with, which was very old school Murloc-infused Zoolock. So, you know, just a little bit of history for you then. Alright, let's rock into this and make ourselves a Highlander Shaman deck. Highlander, of course, as I said, being only 1 copy of every card, as opposed to the traditionally best way, which is 2 copies of the 15 best cards. So 30 in 1 copy of the 30 best cards tends to be a little, except when you do have these payoffs, like the one that I am very, very incredibly happy to have gotten in the form of Doctor Holli'dae, who gives you this, and then you summon a frog, and then that frog next turn is a bigger frog, so a 1/1, then a 2/2, then a 3/3, then a 4/4, and just the idea of firing deadlier and deadlier frogs out of this staff cannon is so enjoyable to me. So he's going to go straight in, and then we'll see what we're working with. let's actually have a look at what Badland cards we did indeed get. I can't imagine a world in which Amphibious Elixir isn't certainly worth it. Cactus Cutter, draw a spell. I mean, that's always nice to have an actual spell tutor, and then we get a little bit of extra. The thing is, because I need 30 individual cards, I can be a little bit less picky when it comes to it. Walking Mountain, definitely. Scar the Catastrophe. Deal 1 damage to all enemies by each turn you've played an elemental in a row. So turns 1 through 6, play an elemental. Turn 7, blast your opponent down. A little bit of a board clear and a summon. Yeah, we'll pop that in. I could, in theory, use one of the new legendaries, Thunderbringer, which you do get as a free bonus just for, you know, playing the Badlands when you open the game, so certainly worth collecting, but I'm not sure it would quite work out. At least we'll see if I end up going a little bit elementally or not. In any case, then, Living Prairie. Startled cow. Alright, I'll do a little bit of investigating and then I'll report back once I have finished constructing my deck. Though that said, I do want to check what the neutral payoffs are, if indeed there are any. Okay, a Reno Lone Ranger. If your deck is no duplicates, empty the enemy board and limit it to 1 space for a turn. And then shoot this turn's magic bullet. Okay, well I do like a bit of Renos, so I might have to craft that. Let's do some disenchanting, as we've got a fairly large amount of extra, and then we can indeed get ourselves him. Lovely. So yeah, I will be back in but a moment. Here we are then. Well, I've drawn Doctor Holli'dae, so that is incredible. There is no doubt in my mind playing him as soon as possible, and in this case, because I'm going second with a coin on turn 4, yeah, that is really kind of hype. I probably couldn't have asked for a better draw. We'll keep the 1 cost. I think we'll drop Heart of the Windlord, and having a Titan as backup to come down after Holli'dae doesn't seem like a bad idea either, so that's very, very promising. I don't know what it is, by the way, but I really love frog-based cards in Hearthstone. I have an entire deck made that has every frog-based card, every card with frog in the name or frog in the picture, ready and waiting for the day that there is enough frog-based cards for it to be complete. I think it's currently sat out of 24 out of 30 cards, but you mark the day that full frog shaman changes the meta forever in Wild. Indeed, this is standard, and if it has been a while since you've Hearthstoned, standard is a collection of the most recent expansions that makes up the sort of current main meta format. Wild is every card that's ever been made go crazy, but standard is sort of where it's at. And whether you are a veteran and you've just dropped off for a little bit, or a complete new player, thanks to the new catch-up packs and the new Badlands mechanics, you really can just get straight into, well, this. And that's really nice to see, because it's something that Hearthstone did need. Well, I don't need the restore right now, and I can afford to overload this turn, so we'll get a little bit more cardage in our hands. Bonk the mermaid with the frog, which is not a sentence you can really say every day, and wait patiently for Dr. Holli'dae. Oh, you get the staff, and then all the frogs and the... Yes! That is brilliant. The staff of 9 frogs. Behold, the first of many! I mean, unless they have some serious instant weapon removal, I feel like this is an oppressive thing to deal with immediately at the start of the game from turn 4. Like, this is the earliest this could come down, and it's the biggest payoff that Highlander Shaman can produce, at least from what I'm aware of. God, it does feel good to play a bit of old Hearthstone again. It's just so, like, tangible how everything actually interacts, seeing all the various effects going off, the mechanics, the very tactileness of the cards slamming on the boards, and all the interactiveness around the place is really lovely. You just kind of really feel involved, and that's always been a big charm of it. Desert Nest Matron. If you're holding a dragon, refresh 4 mana crystals. That's quite the card. Wow, okay. Well, our druid's already ramped to essentially 10, because next turn they're going to be at 10, which is kind of scary. I feel like getting this early Dr. Holli'dae is not going to be an advantage. It's going to have been the bare minimum to stay competitive in this game. Huh. Alright, so I think we will, not yet actually, we're going to miss a damage if we do that. We will beat the dragon down, get said 1 damage in, then I just love that this is kind of Froggy Shaman. It's not 100% Froggy Shaman, but Froggy Shaman. And then we'll get a little bit of a heal and discover. Probably, I'll go with the lightning reflexes to keep the discover train going, and then Astalar on Astalar. Ooh, that is an unlucky burn. That is the Druid Highlander payoff, and I imagine this Purified Dragon Nest is something I'm going to be very glad is not going to be gracing the board. Oh, that is so unlucky. I feel for you, I really do. And we're putting the pressure on. We might well just take the W next turn, if I'm completely honest with you. Oh, never mind. The top deck that's just going to delete my board. Ah, really? Please. I mean, they deserved that after burning the other payoff. Steal the damage, summon a random free cost minion swaps each turn. That is a potent hero power. I mean, it needs to be, but wow. And then that one's a refresh. Interesting. I mean, honestly, the temptation is to Astalar and then Cold Storage my own Astalar, but then I run into the issue of too many cards in my hand, and then we get the Sunwell. Seriously? You know, I'm genuinely just going to waste this. Like, I actually am, because there's too much going on. And then it is tempting, it is very tempting to Sunwell, but I really don't want to burn Yogg-Saron, so we will just continue the frog powers and let that be all. Okay, nice little 7/7 frog. I mean, this honestly might be a nice Hail Mary when we get to later in the game and need something to try and turn the situation around. Okay, there's his Yogg-Saron. After use ability, cast 2 random spells. Take control of an enemy minion? And of course it targets the totem. Okay, draw 2 is actually really good for me. I really want him to burn through his cards. Okay, if I can get my own Yogg-Saron, and then take control of my frog back just immediately, that would be really, really nice. The temptation here is to Primordial Wave, but like, okay, well, that's not ideal, you know. As far as things go, I will admit it is not ideal, but it's also not the end of the world. I think I will cold storage to get myself an extra Yogg-Saron. And then we kind of need to get rid of his Yogg-Saron. So I'm going to hex this frog. We will lightning storm the board. Finish that off there. And then we will draw the spell. Just because I think now is a better time to use it, and we do have the advantage when it comes to the amount of cards left in our deck, and now we have the 8/8 frog. So yeah, we're dealing with threats nicely, and we're generating our own. It's kind of the way of things, the flow as it should be. Take control of an enemy minion. Give me my frog back, it is mine! And then we're good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, we are good. I'm not sure I actually do want to summon big frogs yet, but it is Druid. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I think it is definitely worth it. God, 9/9 frog now. I don't think he's going to be able to just immediately delete them. He doesn't have his random spells. He's not got something like a Twisting Nether from Warlock, so we should, I think, hopefully be turning the tide here. Deal 2 damage, gain 4 armor. And I still have my version of him, and he's down to 4 cards. I think maybe we'll go a little bit of insanity. Everything just sort of nicely kills each other there. Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No, my lionfish! No! And then we will get our own Astalar up to the last stage. May as well put our carving chisel on. And then job is a good one. Get a totem up, get a second totem up, hopefully a healing totem to start bringing our final Titan Frog back to full health. And there it is, though I have a feeling it's going to get prisoned, though he might want to get rid of my Yogg-Saron. The Tentacle Swarm is quite fun, but I just don't have the hand space to use it, so he's probably not too worried about it. 2 left until fatigue. I love that my first game back is 2 proper Highlander Badlands decks going to fatigue against each other, using everything in their arsenal. I mean, it's kind of perfect when you think about it that way. Snap freeze isn't too bad. Brawl! I'm so glad this is gone now, because my god, that is so brutal! That is so oh my god! And then Astalor afterwards, like, hey, let's just have a little bit of a burn going on. That sounds good, doesn't it? I might just play these 2. Get 10 health back, clear the Astalor. It seems like an alright decision at this point. Okay, that's cool. Dragon Golem, summon a copy of this for each dragon in your hand. So there's at least 4 dragons left in the hand there. Oh, the temptation is to do 14 random damage everywhere and then hope that Jam Session will finish it off for me. I just want enough of them to either die or get put perfectly to 1 health. Of course. Well, that's fine. We can hit one of them ourselves. And then we can Jam Session. Honestly, I think I am going to Jam Session the Totem. It just creates a second threat, and it means that it doesn't die. And then we kill 2 of his, and then they all heal back up to full. And then he's got 9 plus 5, that's 14. 16. It might have been a mistake. He might be able to pull 2 damage out of his hand and finish me off. I am rusty. That is certainly true. I am rusty. Maybe the Walking Mountain to kill 4 dragons was the play. It's the fine margins, you know. His Watcher of the Sun about 15 turns ago. Oh my god. He still could have done 14 damage. Which I would have survived on full health with Fallen Man. No! Damn. All it makes me want to do is get back in there. God, what a fun matchup for Badlands. It really is. You can't lose stars at this rank. Seeing that message, I'll go crawl back in my cave now. Oh yes, if you indeed were inspired by that fun, well, as I say, you can get involved for free. Download Hearthstone down below at the link in the description. Get your catch-up packs, get your loader decks, and jump straight in, and you will be having a blast in record time. For now then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. Goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.